Lost the reincarnation frequency in death navigation. Occult missed a 49-day transmission. Nobody receives correctly. Just say Bardo's relation to re-ring the between stay. The mass and bosses and accessory. Concealed mystery mass and the treasures from Carmeling Pa, 14th century, which is the correct publication delay for a text that needed 600 years of burial to arrive at the right moment.
Bardo says the text buried in the earth for 600 years, waiting for the correct discovery.
It's the most patient publishing strategy. Don't submit to the available publishers. You lay the manuscript in a rock and trust that the person who needs to find it
Will have the correct relationship with that.
must invade the rock 6 centuries later. This requires a very long view of editorial timing, clear line for small formations begin. On my cluster in nature fails me mad. Trusted Louis the tiger steady. His license says a clear line is a signal before the receiver starts processing needed content to transmissions. Mind converting to familiar into the links into the hell realms and hungry ghost realms and all the destinations the untrained mind prefers to the signal itself. The clear light is what caught up is trying to reach by removing from processing. It is the signal before the mind tells you what it means. Often at the clear light briefly in the ceremonies in the Amazon and the Rubin Tunge, when the cut up went all the way through, and what is there is exactly what
That is hard to describe the stars that's about me.
that's not the million. Since there's more of us do, which is why most of us turn to the colored mists immediately and start looking for the moon to catch consciousness rising from the body upward, clear light over in the first moment. Peaceful deity recognized or fled colored mist, chosen food for the familiar comfort. Body rising from the consciousness upward, first moment offered in the clear light fled. All they recognized peaceful deity comfort chosen for the familial.
Fold here, the fold is the 49 days, the fold is the
Duration of the between state during which the consciousness makes the choices. It's being prepared in life to make differently and makes them the same way it always made them. Because preparation is harder than the tradition implies, and the colored mist is very, very cold. Blazing the blue lights of the realm, soft, decided. Says on the first day you are offered the most brilliant thing you have ever encountered.
and beside it a soft blue light that is the color of the place
You most wanted to avoid more. Choosing the soft blue is more comfortable than the blazing white. And the untrained mind moves to comfort every time, which is the single sentence that explains most of human history and most of the Bardo simultaneously.
licenses.
The hell realm light is soft, cause the Bardo understands that hell is not the place you go before. It's very poor, it's the place you go. Cause it's familiar, familiar always feels softer than the blazing unfamiliar truth of your own nation. Into to long reason to do it, oh no, believe on the clear light day. There's too long recognizing to the coloredness that's incomparable. Do the nicest stance in the web. Do your noise. Put your own past. I am reading it to the part of you that is still close enough to hear. Oh, nobling bone, choose the blazing, choose the dream yoga, the practice of knowing the dream while dreaming as preparation for the Bardo. Because the Bardo is structured like a dream, and the dreamer who can recognize the dream as dream can recognize the Bardo. Says dream yoga is the rehearsal for the performance. You only give wants and conditions that will seem completely real and are not in the sense that matters. The practices gives the chance for make us the past and doing so to the back and from never lies and just this history until 1-9. In the dream you are scared, and the dream says yes, and just stay in the dream knowing it is a dream. And that's that trading for the 9 when the dream is the Bardo. Only right. Is this a dream? And the correct answer is yes. And what you do with that, yes, is the whole of the practice, Geisen says. I have been doing dream yoga since before I knew it was called the cut up is waking dream. That's to look at the text of the waking world. Is this a dream? And the cut answers yes, here is the seam. Here is where the waking world is assembled from the same materials as the sleeping world, and the Bardo and the colored mists and the clear light that you keep turning away from too. Comfortable size, two from the familiar. They face tries in 39, 27 souls. Western translation to Tibetan Book of the Dead. Not quite the right title. Bardo means you reach into air and moving to stable of the Western dying. So was the correct year for it to arrive with the wrong title. The century was preparing to generate more dead than any previous century, and needed a navigation manual for the between state, even if it thought it was buying something else. In 1964, the psychedelic experience, the Bardo mapped onto the psychedelic session, Geisen says. So we took Bardo and recognized the clear light from the other direction. The Bardo describes what the session produces. Internal to dying encounter, which means either the dying and the session are accessing the same territory, or the same territory uses the same geography regardless of how you arrived, which is either the same thing or the most important distinction available. The 49 days, 7 weeks, 7 sets of 7 peaceful ones. First one, the last one, 7 weeks. The seeking of rebirth, 3rd week through. 7th burrow says 49 days to navigate the between state and make the choice that the preparation was meant to prepare you for. And most consciousness spend the 49 days getting increasingly desperate for the familiar, and by the 7th week are essentially running toward it, which is the description of how most people choose their next life, the way most people choose most things under pressure to their level.
Tyson says the wrathful deities of the second week are the cult up of the peaceful deities of the first week.
Same beings, different arrangement, same compassion, different presentation. The mind that fled the peaceful transmission gets the same transmission caught up into the wrathful form to see if the scale version produces recognition where the gentle version produced light it usually doesn't. And it's the compassion tema that earth treasures hidden by Padmasambhava for future discoverers. The Bardo Thodolas tema of the term is still hidden, waiting for the correct discoverer at the correct moment. Guys and says bottom conversation, the most precipitated publishing model label developed to hide the text and the landscape encoded it, to be found by the person whose mind is the key that unlocks it at the moment the story reads it. The new publisher, new distribution, no publicity. And the correct mind and the correct historical moment being into the bend. And stay back has been the most reliable editorial infrastructure. The debate I buried terms in the cut manuscripts in the vaults of the Ohio Library, text encoded for the reader who doesn't exist yet. You will find them at the correct moment and have the mind that is being known, and then find what was hidden, waiting for exactly that mind and exactly that moment. Which is what all series writing so.
A term addressed to the future reader who hasn't been born yet into the life that will need what the text contains. The Bardo was just the name Tibetan Buddhism
to the discovery that dying is structured like everything else you do badly. The first thing that you didn't black song tells you to play like then to control life.
Feed off a seed of leaf and away from, and you turn away from it again in death.
Because the turning is the habit you forgot to break in the
just and the base is
still aligned. Justice the of the mind and sitting to content they're so available in the first moment today and in the dream. Man knows this stuff and back the jaw fool. The Amazon in the new street in the morning, and the processing stalks bravely in what your name just doing news in bed. Dangerous and terrifying, the most new crucial thing you ever liked and ever do. Who locked still ring? Still out for some way, some real mass things. From the right is a bias, half of the ones still the same. She's not easily one quickly. You must obey us to bearing over nine. That's key, gonna run from my
49 days, still the duration of the choice. That preparation was supposed to subtlety make differently.
Du nu bling ball line comes the it was staying out doing see the doing some doing stand now think about but taking off the command stand up this is myself with the baseball in the stand blazing. Oh no, believe on the soft